Crossovers. I love them. In any case, what would you get when you combine Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Gundam together? You get a comedy series. Yeah, let me explain.
This game is a part of a series known as the Kapati Hero series. Yeah, I know, weird name. Which basically combines the series I just mentioned, and it's honestly a neat concept. Though they can also add another series like Godzilla and them all just playing soccer together. Which is a glorious, insane idea, and I love it.
Of course, I chose this because it's an RPG, and that's a genre I really like. In any case, this is Hero Senkai Project Olympus.
So we begin the game off with an explanation of what are these three worlds, as they are somehow combined in this super weird hybrid planet where each of the continents belong to each respective franchise. But peace is not there, because each of them still have their respective villains. And in a way, this world has its own counter to them all. A group called Zeus, because, you know, they need all those Greek names. So who is a part of Zeus? We have Armoro, the first Gundam pilot. I say Dan, Ultra 7's secret identity, Kotaro Minami, Kamen Rider Black, and later RX. And an odd choice here, Gilliam Yeager, who would make a later appearance in a little known franchise. You probably never even heard of it, a series called Super Robot Wars? Yes, and that series is awesome too, by the way. Go play it. So it is our job to go around, find some villains, do all that good heroic stuff. And it's near the beginning, like right around here. It's where I realized where this game really is. It's a comedy. Unless this is a translation issue, then bad translator. Bad! As you read it, it's all very lighthearted, and it's not treated too seriously, which really shows how much of this is a comedy. And as long as you know that and what it's doing and know the jokes it's making, it's really funny. Though at times it feels off at times, as it won't stop at times to be serious when the situation actually calls for it, and it sometimes feels very out of place. I'm not calling the comedy bad here, it is more of at times it needs to stop comedying it up, you know what I mean? But not to say they are bad, they're actually pretty good. Hell, there are some jokes about making of the situation they are in and sometimes breaking the fourth wall just to make a joke, and hell, they're very funny to me because I like that type of stuff. Though I will say, some of these characters are not 100% in character.
Yeah, it was that bad at times. And in fact, I actually pointed out a bit of a spiel about how the Tizen movies have pretty much ruined kind of all of the show writers.
Though I understand that too, as it is a part of the, comedy skit. All the in-universe references did really get a chuckle out of me, since I actually like a lot of these series, except Gundam, as I know nothing of Gundam.
Yes, I know, I'm a monster. Ugh. Look, I plan on watching it, and I already did because of how I order these scripts. Yeah, I'm confusing like that. Opinions right now, the original series is alright. I haven't seen anything past the original series, but if you know what I mean. I've seen the 8th MS team. Ugh. I've seen Unicorn, that was good. That was really good. Did you know that From Software made the Unicorn game?
In any case, this area we are in does show our first time at combat, and that being a very simple turn-based RPG. It is a bit by the numbers, except it has its own spice of life. When talking about JRPGs in general, you usually want to talk about what makes it different from other RPGs, that's important, and it shows the important stuff without being repetitive. It's why I have a hard time talking about them sometimes, because I really want to go in depth, but sometimes you need to just stop for a moment and go back. The game systems are a bit odd at some level because I don't understand them and how some of it works, since I don't have a manual and some of these moves abilities are a bit off. Like, for example, Ultra PK, I have no idea what it does. If somebody can explain it to me, that would be nice. When talking about this game, it's a very SP skill heavy use game, where you'll basically use skills like every other turn. Though don't worry about running out of SP during a battle, except for bosses. You'll usually recoup some of it during it, and depending on how you play, or hell, you can come out with more SP than you use in the battle, depending on how you fight. The issue with this is with balancing this while trying to reach the boss, and that's where the challenge comes down to. Since, again, here's the odd thing. You can recover health at hospitals and whatnot, but you cannot recover SP easily. Yeah, I have no idea why. There are items in the game where you can recover it, but they're either hard to find, or the only place I could find that sold them was the literal final dungeon. Yeah, if you would like to answer that one, I would love to know too. Talking about skills, it should be mentioned that each of the free series plays a little differently from each other. And now I will go through each of the classes. Well, I call them that because that's what they kind of feel like to be, but yeah, here's a list of how these characters kind of work mostly. Gundams. They are the fast guys who will get the shot in first, but are genuinely weaker, but not too weak, but have more area and strong options that are sometimes a good choice to deal with weaker enemies, but are gonna have an SP problem later on. Riders are warriors who, are very strong, but suffer from the issue of glass cannon, and their issues are just having low health and not a good enough defense. Not bad, but not solid either. They are strong hitters and will be the ones taking on stronger foes with their power hits, but still do have some area moves, though not as good as other ones, but still good regardless. Ultras are a bit off, as they are very slow and very tanky. Though you would think that would make them the hard hitters, no. Well, sort of, depending. Since they have skills that make them very powerful, and at the end of the game, they can actually deal like 9999 on final boss. Yeah. But they're also the healers of the group because of their high defense and high SP. Though, honestly, they are the group I kinda didn't like the most due to that, because it's gonna be hard to recover them if they get down. I haven't talked about Gilliam and his get spent due to it being later taken out while rescuing a kid, as he disappears where no one knows where he went. But he is just like a Gundam and don't ever have to actually worry about giving equipment to team members, since the game won't allow it for some reason. Yeah, there will be times where other team members will respectively switch out, revolving around all the free series. Though the Ultraman are the ones out, as they don't get many team members. I think there is only like 2, including Ultra 7. Huh. Though I will say they did respectfully and honestly neat. All the moves are very different, though, I mean, there are repeat moves, but you know what I mean. They didn't really skip out on making these look nice and really, really accurate to what they were. And it was a nice treat to watch.
I was really actually surprised about how much they actually copied the moves. It really showed how much dedication they had for the series they were adapting. I just wish they had better music.
There's not a lot of music in this game, and it honestly gets annoying at times that I actually muted the game due to how much the music was on repeat. Oh, it's not bad, just to repeat, it's so goddamn much. This is why I like when RPGs have multiple battle themes, so you don't go insane from the one you keep on hearing and hearing. Look at you, Persona 5, come on! Well, after fighting some villains, actually, it's mostly shockers. Yeah, Oh yeah, who's Shocker? Think weird, and I'm saying weird because it's that weird. Japan Nazis, except with actual monsters who aren't racist. Continuing on, the game does soon enough introduce the other group members who are other Ultra. Well, I say Ultras, but again, one. Riders and okay, again, I know nothing of Gundam, and I think it's like later on in the series thing, maybe, who knows.
Though I will say, this is where it gets interesting for me. You see, as I told y'all, I'm not a Gundam fan. Only reason why I got this thing is because it's a Mobile Suit Gundam book. You're not going to find these. In any case, one of the side characters for Gundam really made me want to watch the series, just because I wanted to see if he ever did it. And he did.
This guy's Camille, and this guy, I just love him. Okay, he has an issue with people telling his name is Girly. So when Jared, how do you pronounce his name? Whatever. After he says his name's Girly, he shouts, "I'm a man!" and punches him in the gut. And that is just glorious. Though he's there only because he's working for a spy for Zeus against a group called the Titans, which is a group that does some stuff, and I think it's a Gundam universe thing. Post that it is. Hell, Chari's in here and it's weird and stuff. I'm not even entirely sure myself. Again, I've seen a little Gundam, but it's odd at times. After a bit, you learn there is some evil group that's kind of nebulously connecting a lot of the evil groups together and are actually joining into this super mega evil group led by this mysterious man whose name is not known and wants the three of them alive. I wonder who he is. Deeming it necessary to upgrade everyone, the game decides, yeah, this is when they're gonna actually reveal their actual final form, most likely. Armoro gets upgraded to its more powerful mech, known as the New Gundam, and no, not new, Greek if you're wondering. Ultraman must get training, or at least try to train himself to learn some moves on the Ultra King. It kinda feels needed as there are no real major change, and Black becomes Black RX by literally being knocked out and just left out in the sun for a while with his King Stone, which is the source of his power, which is odd as Shadow Moon didn't use this time as a way of, taking it and making him stronger because that's his thing. Honestly, it's okay, but it just felt lazy, you know what I mean? Actually, going back to Armoro, he meets the most unlucky guy during his journey, Masaki. Or, if you're unaware, one of the main characters for the Super Robot Wars games. Yeah, and again, this is canon. Though confused why he didn't want to help with the Side Buster. Balance issues, probably? Yeah, that may be it. So I'll be heading to near the end since I don't want to leave out the comedy. I want to leave something there for you at least. And also, not a lot happens. Yeah, I say this is a comedy, but that's kind of like the issue. Anytime it wants to get serious and actually start up with a plot that's moving actually forward, it's kind of sparse, to say the least. So Sekiroko, how the hell do you pronounce this guy's name? I think that's another reason why I don't like Gundam. Other guys' names are weirdly. After quickly defeating him, in a town that we are trying to actually espionage in, we find that Gilliam's alive, as his memories were restored from the accident of something, as he's working with the enemy now and trying to stop us, but not kill us. Odd, as he teleports us away to be separated, again, and this time it gets annoying. Honestly, I don't see the point for this. It felt at this time the RPG stuff was actually running on fumes, so I was confused on why it was taking so long to just get to the point. I'll quickly explain what they did. So Kotaro's handling the town and everything's a bit off, it's surrounded and whatnot. Honestly, nothing happens. It just doesn't feel anywhere near important. Ultra 7's doing the exact same thing, and Armoro, oh god. This also shows how bad the game can be at times by not directing you to the proper place. Yeah, at times it will point you at the right direction, but sometimes it's not. Exploration is something you need to do, and it's constantly asking you to do these weird things without really telling you for some reason. Like, Char's here now for some reason, like he has nothing to do with anything, but he's just here. But like, also, here's an example of some of the other issues in this game. So we have the pilot of the Double Zeta Gundam, and he never uses it once. Yeah, makes total sense. Also, Shu's here for whatever reason. I should also mention that I barely, again, know anything about Super Robot Wars, as I only know stuff from the wiki or the Smartest Morons reviews of the games. Yeah, that's the best I know of him. But do watch the guy's reviews. They're very high quality. So, but in any case, I'm pretty sure Shu would never let anything happen to his mech. So that's where I call bullshit, as he would never let his mech device out of his sight, as far as I'm aware. He will join us later for one of the dungeons, but for whatever reason, the F91 Gundam is the last team member we will have in the game. Yeah, none of the other cool mechs, but the F91 Gundam. Not calling it a bad Gundam, it's just a weird Gundam. Out of a So after climbing the tower and holy shit, what the fuck is with this room? So after defeating all the main villains from each of the series, we find the main villain who is personally now trying to kill us with the XD Gespen. Wonder how the hell he got one. And after defeating him easily, like, wow, easily, maybe it's subtle storytelling. Who knows? We find out that it was Gilliam all along, who did this all to make the world a better place. Yeah, he knew he was doing and he feels bad about it, but doesn't shy away from the fact that he did some evil shit. And that's good, because sometimes it would feel like some stories would do this thing of not making him really evil or making his actions not super evil, you know what I mean? And at least acknowledges that he did some evil shit, so respect for that at least. Also, he then teleports us away as the tower falls on him, and in honor of their friend who just wanted to make the world a better place for everyone, even if it was misguided, they decided to make one through their own ways. Though don't think he's dead, as he's never truly gone, as he's always around with his mech in some weird place. And yes, again, I must say, in all regards, this game's canon to everything that is in Super Robot War. And that's actually impressive. I mean, if anything, I thought the series would have just tried to ignore this game, but no, they outright say at times that this game happened. It's so odd, to say the least.
So that was Hero Senkai. What did I think about it? It was alright. Sure, it has its issues, but if you overlook those issues and see it for what it is, a comedy-style RPG that's not taking itself seriously at times, and just enjoying the concept of it all, as long as you accept it for that, you're done good. In any case, next time. Wish I knew. I need to plan these out more. See you!